Good afternoon, folks. This is Fred Campos, owner of DFW Website Designers. It is Friday, May the 14th, and 2021, and this is episode number 199 of your 3 business tips at 3 o'clock in and around 3 minutes. You know, a lot has changed on this Friday, May of 2021. They are starting to see the mask drop as a lot of our citizens have been vaccinated here in the U.S. But what I have witnessed over the past 48 hours is a huge influx of polarization, of unkind words being spread by both sides. And this reminds me of a story, and I want to address 2 people here. Obviously, we're addressing business owners, but I also want to address a community that I'm a part of, which is the Christian community. Earlier in my life, in my 20s and 30s, I had an opportunity to be a waiter with my big brother over at Red Lobster, and it was one of the greatest young person's job I could ever do, waiting on tables. But I'll never forget sitting in the meetings, and we said, who are our worst customers? And they said, the Christians on Sunday. Who are the worst tippers? The Christians on Sunday. That experience made me realize how terrible of a Christian walk some of the examples are with tipping and with service as restaurants. It was amazing. It really made me stop and think of how the Christian community acts in public. And I'm addressing that as part of that group. I have witnessed over the last 72 hours some of the meanest acts of conversation I have ever seen from the Christian community in regarding the wearing or the not wearing of a mask. Lots of science behind it, lots of people's opinions, but we're going to talk about kindness today. We're going to talk about thinking before you speak, setting an example, and really considering others. Thinking before you speak. We all have massive opinions. We've all been through some of the harshest times, hopefully in my lifetime, regarding this COVID, and everybody's struggling with something. Let's pause a half a second and think before we speak. Business tip number 2, which is good for the business community as well, is set an example above and beyond your own personal beliefs. You know, if I had a friend of mine that was struggling as an alcoholic, I would not show up at his house with a beer just because I wanted one, right? If I had a friend of mine that was trying to lose weight and wanted to meet me to work on his exercise program, I would not offer him Krispy Kreme donuts. Regardless of whether that's good for me, it's considering him. In regards to mass, whether you feel one way or the other, consider your neighbor, right? It's the Christian thing to do. You may be very opinionated about one way or another, but be considerate of your neighbor. So set an example. Be a step above, right? Someone asks you to go a mile and carry a bag, carry it too. I'm asking you to be considerate of your neighbor in regards by setting an example. And business tip number 3 is a segue of all of that. We as Christians, as good business owners, should be others-centric, others-focused. Regardless of our opinions or our feelings, they have real fears with things, and we shouldn't be criticizing one way or the other. That's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you for kindness. It's good in business. It's good as practice. And it certainly sets a better bar, higher standard as a Christian community. That's what I'm dealing with today. That's what I would advise to you. Anything that I'm working on, I throw it over the fence because I want you to be awesome. Now go back to sleep.